Shruti, the board is very satisfied with your performance, your confidence, your grace, your poise, your presence of mind. Answers given are absolutely to the point, not specific. I would that you please understand that what Sir had asked, there was a revolution in medical technology, like telemedicine.
mRNA vaccine in particular, yeah.
Okay, so
Air
So I
ambulances.
think, yeah, I mean,
I
because
should have
that was such a
talked-
topical thing,
Yes,
so I
yes,
thought,
sir.
you could have given a more robust answer
Okay,
to
sir.
that one, I thought. And especially, what are the elements of the new, because apart from promoting, greater international cooperation, there is also the threat of xenophobia, racism,
Yes,
deglobalization, all these are also going to be features of the new post-COVID world order, because it has also reinforced the nationalist tendencies, and countries are all going to look after themselves first. I think the public health infrastructure in their own country is more important than. So, as I said, it will have its positive and its negative impacts, and as of now, the negative impacts seem to be more. So, I thought on
Yes,
that,
yes. I think
especially because that's such a topical thing.
Yes, sir.
So, I thought you could have done better with that one. But in general, I think we were all
Sir,
satisfied.
very satisfied. The whole gamut of testing kits, productions of ICUs, air ambulances, remdesivir production. India became the pharmacy of the world.
Yes, sir.
Let us not forget that.
Those examples weren't coming to my mind at that point.
You are
You
so
should have been prepared for this
Yes,
one.
yes.
That's
prepared
what I
for
thought.
that. Somebody as sharp as you're not a mediocre. You are a top level student and a candidate. One would expect only the best, nothing less than 100%. 99% is not good enough for somebody like you. Sir.
I'm extremely happy. I thought you were very, very good. And I think I have no hesitation in saying that I would have recommended you in the top bracket. I would expect to see you in the first 10. If you don't, I will be greatly disappointed and be shaken in my experience as a teacher of grading younger people. I think you are perfect. Absolutely.
What happened in your last attempt?
So last attempt, what happened was due to some unforeseen error, my medium was changed to Hindi. So I had wrote my entire this thing and I missed by 1 mark the interview call. So that happened.
I can imagine. Something like that must have happened.
Okay, I am very happy that when you came, you were sitting like this, and casually, automatically, you came back to the most desirable posture of sitting like this, which gives you more, freedom. It gives you more relaxation.
I was very uncomfortable.
I know, I was going to tell you, but I noticed that you did it very nicely and you came back to a very normal position. In terms of your answers, of course, whatever you have read, whatever the computer has, the computer will only give that information. I would like you to caution on one point when you name the Sarkar as nationalist. So, bringing out facts which were, covered and uncovering facts or writing about things which have not been talked about by the colonial historians, I don't think you should label it as nationalist. So, because it might be against the grain of today's if you use the word nationalist for people who are writing facts of his history which have not been told to us, might not give a very pleasant.
What else can?
This is what I just thought. That was one word you should not use. These are students.
So I should just say like a historian. I shouldn't use any particular terminology.
I personally would not try to call them as nationalists. I would just call them as good historians who have trying to unearth things that have not been told to us. Like Mazumdar. I mean, the difference between Tarachand and Mazumdar's history of the freedom movement. So one was writing from different, from the factual facts. And this is the whole thing, NCRT drama when G. Parthasatri was the head. The whole drama was that. Because the reader was put out of the committee because he says, I will not change facts of history. When they were being told to change facts of history, I'm talking about the 60s and 70s. So people who are writing facts which may not be comfortable should not be labeled either as, we call them colonials because we were under a rule. So we call them, but we're not naming them as nationalists or anti-nationalists. That was, otherwise you were very well. You tried to do your best. You tried to come to archaeology, but you missed out on the depth because obviously it's a big topic. It's a very big topic and you have not been taught about it.
Yes. What was the other book that you mentioned earlier on, apart from Early India by Tony Joseph?
You know, early Indians is something which I want you to definitely talk about. D.D. Kosambi, you can't dismiss because he was in his personal life a Marxist. It is the first case of multidisciplinary sources being brought to ancient Indian history. Even when he talks of myths, he talks of the myth of Bhagirath as the hydraulic engineer who was taming Ganga and making dams, run of the river dams, which nobody else has the guts to suggest. So myth and reality in Indian history he talks about. Mostly people get confined to introduction to Indian history or outline of Indian history and culture by Kosambi. They don't go into myth and reality in his other essays. I think he was a person who had the courage to say that there was myth which provided insight into Indian history, and he was absolutely secure in Pali and Prakrit and Sanskrit and numismatics and mathematical statistics. He was a professor of theoretical mathematics in Tata Institute of Fundamental Sciences. So people in fields other than history have done such seminal work. So you can't possibly, as a student in St. Stephen's and the best college and the presumably, although from JNU, I think JNU in the pits now, so one of the best universities in the country, not afford to miss that. And at what the man said, you see, it is a question of the advanced history of India, for instance, which is not fashionable. Datta Rai Chaudhary and Majumdar. They are not nationalist historians. They are Indian historians interpreting Indian history from a lens or a prism which is free from the colonial part. Now, one last question I want to ask you.
Yes.
When is your interview?
It's on 8th of April.
I don't think you have anything to worry about it. Forget about the 1 mark missing last year. Go there with a degree of confidence that you are going to top. If not top, there's a lottery. First 10 in any case. Relax. You are very good.
Just one input on history again. This multidisciplinary approach is happening now. We're approaching it from all the angles, like the science angle, the DNA angle, the epigraphy, the archaeology, textual data, and astronomical data embedded in both the epics and in the Rig Veda. So dating them and coming to those conclusions, because we all know that the first science was this knowing the Brahman, knowing the nakshatras. So all that disciplines are now coming together, converging, and we have already made 3 attempts and we are now in the final stage. So all that is, so you should be a little in the know that this is happening in the background.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Well
you.
done.
All the best.
Thank you, sir. May I come in, sir?
Good afternoon, Shruti.
Good afternoon, sir.
Welcome.
Good
Sit down,
afternoon,
please.
sir. Good afternoon, sir.